Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Madeleine Hobo Bag from French brand Tanneur. And I'm talking about it specifically because within affordable level of luxury, it's one of the mightiest bags when you consider the exceptional quality of the leathers that have been used to craft the bag, coupled with the craftsmanship, the level of detail, the high standard of finish. It's absolutely phenomenal. And then when you compare it to other similar hobo bags from hugely aspirational brands like Dior, Saint Laurent, Gucci or Christian Dior, for example, it's even better. I'm Anesu Sagonda and I produce educational luxury content for anyone after the finer things. Whether you're young and starting out in life and wanting to reap the benefits of buying better quality from the get-go, or you're into luxury but you want to focus more on high quality under the radar brands, or you're new to money and wanting to learn how to navigate the terrain, then my content is geared towards you. I am not filming from my usual location, as you can tell. I'm currently in the Eastern Highlands in Zimbabwe, very close to the border with Mozambique. And it's where my family, the Sagondas, originate from. I'm attending a family board meeting, and directly in front of us is the view in front of me as I record this video. I arrived a couple of days ago, and then the next day went on a fairly lengthy hike first thing in the morning to the top of a mountain. To the far right is a sacred range of mountains called Mount Inyangani, and then directly in front of us is a fairly expansive tea estate, largely owned by Dior. The area where my family originates from is incredibly serene, it's lush, it's verdant. It's tucked away 5 hours drive from Harare. The lodge we're staying in is incredibly safe and discreet. There is a police checkpoint just before you drive through the boom gate, and the security checks are fairly extensive, and then from that point only guests and staff have access to the lodge. It's been absolutely amazing meeting with my family, reconnecting with my ancestors, and a little bit of rest and relaxation. And so coming back to the Madeleine Hobo Bag. I'm a huge fan of Tanneur, particularly within affordable level of luxury, because it's offering styles that are absolutely fantastic in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship of the bags within its level of luxury. And you will find with a good chunk of their bags, they're on par with the offering from the aspirational brands. And then the balance you'll find in some cases is even better than what the aspirational brands are offering at an absolute fraction of the price. The Madeleine Hobo Bag is part of their Made in France range. It's their top-end range in terms of the bags are all made in France using high-quality French leathers. There are three ranges within the Made in France. The first is the Sans Couture. It's a top handle bag I recently spoke about. I'm going to attach the video above. And it's a top handle bag that is made by an artisan in-store as part of their atelier service. The second range is the Louise, and there are two styles within the Louise. There is a bucket bag and there is a tote bag. And then the third range is the Madeleine, which is made in the Pays de la Loire region. There's a shoulder bag, which I haven't seen as yet, and then the Madeleine Hobo Bag. I have specifically chosen the Madeleine Hobo Bag because out of all of Tanneur's bags, it's the very best when it comes to the quality of the leathers they've been used. They come from one of the top French tanneries. And the craftsmanship that has gone into the making of the bag is absolutely outstanding, especially for the level of luxury that the bag is in. The Hobo Bag, by virtue of its shape, lends itself really nicely to being an incredibly practical, heavy usage bag, the type of bag you can use daily, either as a work bag or if you're a student at university or college. It's a bag that's been robustly made, it can take a beating, and it can carry quite a bit. There are two size options, and depending on the size, it can very comfortably carry a laptop or a tablet, files, books, for example. There are two size options. The small is 30 centimeters in length and costs 850 euros. And the large is 34 centimeters in length and costs 950 euros. Two color options, black and cognac. It's a unisex bag, one cavernous compartment. 3/4 of the inside of the bag is lined using fabric, which is what Tanneur uses for the majority of their bags. And then the remainder is lined using leather. One side of the bag on the inside, there's a fairly sizable zipped pocket for items that need additional security. So think of a passport, a card holder, wallet, cash, for example. And then on the opposite side, there's a fairly sizable pocket that is a slip pocket without the zip. The bag has a strap that's permanently attached, it's adjustable, and it opens really nicely. The mechanism they have ensures that it opens very neatly, and it shortens as well. So you can very comfortably carry the bag either on your shoulder or as a crossbody bag. The strap itself is thick, it's padded, it's wide, which is perfect for a heavy usage bag, fairly sizable. It can take a lot, and it potentially can get fairly heavy. And with the wide strap, it means the weight, if it's heavy, is distributed across a lot more of your shoulder, making it a lot more comfortable, and it doesn't dig into your shoulder. I'm going to split what I like about the Hobo bag into 2 sections. The first is the physical product. I'm going to talk about the leather and the hardware. And then the second is the craftsmanship. The Hobo bag has been made using leather from Remy Cariat. Remy Cariat is one of France's foremost tanneries. It's an incredibly well-known and respected tannery, and they are known for their bull calf skin, Torillon, and their buffalo leather as well. Their bull calf skin is what Hermes, for example, used for their Birkins, what they refer to as clemence. It's a thick, plush, absolutely stunning leather. It is chrome tanned. The majority of Remy Cariat's leathers are chrome tanned. Leathers are either chrome tanned or vegetal tanned. Vegetal tanned tends to be the better one in the sense that you don't strip out the natural oils of the leather, so it's going to patina exquisitely with time. It takes time, and the leather is tanned using typically natural products. Whereas with chrome tanning, one of the distinct advantages is that it's not as lengthy as vegetal tanning. It typically uses chemicals, but you are able to achieve a much wider color palette. But what it means is that you are stripping out the natural oils, so the leather will typically not patina. Although Remy Cariat do have a couple of ranges that will patina, the majority of their leathers will not patina, but they are chrome tanned incredibly well. With chrome tanning, you will find there are varying levels. A good chunk of what's available in the market, if you use the bag for 3 to 5 years, day in, day out, then you'll start to notice a drop in the quality. You're not going to get a product that is heirloom quality. But with Remy Cariat leathers, they are absolutely beautifully tanned, incredibly well. First of all, they start off with exceptional quality hides, and they're tanned incredibly well. And their leathers will stand the test of time. They are unlike the majority of chrome tanned leathers in the industry in that they will stand the test of time. Their quality will not deteriorate with time. And so, Tanneur are using exceptional leathers to begin with. The hardware is Swiss made. The Swiss are very similar to the Germans in that they're really focused on exceptional build quality of their products. You are going to get products that are very well made, typically from the Swiss as well as the Germans. It's solid, it's brass, it's weighted, and it has been beautifully plated. I don't know the exact microns, the thickness of the plating, but it is not going to tarnish or darken or change. The plating is going to remain exactly the same over the course of the life of the bag. So physically, the bag is starting off with heirloom quality leather, and then beautiful weighted hardware that's not going to tarnish. The craftsmanship. You will notice with only the Hobo bags, they have numbers, and the numbers have all of the vital information relating to the bag. The artisan, the leather, the date of production, for example. There are 3 things I really like about the craftsmanship. The first is the fact that it's machine stitched. It has been machine stitched incredibly well. There's a lot of talk I've noticed on social media where creators will reference it has been hand stitched, and hand stitched is superior to machine stitching. That is not always correct. It all boils down to how well the machine stitching has been done. Machine stitching can be just as good as hand stitching. Hand stitching, think for example, saddle stitching, angle or joint or glove stitch, for example. It all boils down to how well machine stitched the bag has been, and in this case, very well machine stitched. The second is on the seams, you'll notice piping. Piping is something you don't get a lot of, particularly lower levels of luxury. It tends to be bags at a higher level of luxury. Piping is fantastic in that, firstly, it's used in areas that have high pressure. So think, for example, the seams. It really reinforces the seams and makes them incredibly strong. Piping also helps to add structure to the bag, which the hobo bag clearly has. And it's also, from an aesthetics point of view, it's incredibly neat, it's incredibly clean. It gives a very beautiful finish to the area that it has been used. The third component I really like is the strap and the way it has been attached almost halfway down the bag. It's been attached halfway down the bag, and they've sewn the entire part of the strap that they have attached. The pressure is being distributed across a much wider surface area, and attaching it almost halfway down across a much wider surface area is creating an attachment that's a lot more robust, and it'll stand the test of time, and you don't get pressure points building up, especially where you have leather that is not as thick. In this case, they've coupled really thick, solid, robust leather. I spent a couple of hours running around Harrods trying to see other hobo bags that are similar to the Tanneur for comparison purposes and to add value to this video. And I came across 6 brands with possibly 9 different hobos, their own take of the hobo bag. More than half of them are very similar to Le Tanneur, and therefore it will be a like-for-like comparison. The first 3 are actually from Christian Dior. The shape is very different. It's their take of the hobo bag. But I really had to mention it because I was absolutely gobsmacked. Firstly, at the price and the material and the basic craftsmanship that had gone into the bags. The 2 that really stood out. The first is the canvas hobo bag. It's canvas, it's a cheap material, it's fabric, and the bag is about 3,500 pounds. Where the strap is attached, it's fairly basic. There isn't a lot of detail that has gone into reinforcing the attachment and the strap. The material is cheap, it's basic, it's fabric, and it's 3,500 pounds. I was absolutely gobsmacked. But what left me absolutely speechless was the second hobo bag called the Voyage, and the large size, 4,000 pounds. The leather that they use, incredibly underwhelming. It's thin. It was their signature patchwork. But the leather was thin. I didn't feel as if it was absolutely outstanding, that the quality reflected the price tag. The feel was thin. It didn't feel substantial. It didn't feel solid and robust. But what totally blew my mind was the inside was lined using fabric. Really cheap construction, leather that wasn't worthy of the price tag. And then on the side, the attachment of the strap, I felt it was just too fussy. They had the detail on the outside to hide the fact that the construction, the attachment of the strap is incredibly basic. They have not placed a lot of craft or detail or emphasis into creating a really secure attachment between the strap and the bag. The next one is from Gucci. It's a new bag called the Beatrix Tote. What really stood out and I actually liked was the leather. It was thick, it was sumptuous, it was plush. I really liked it. But what I struggled with is the fact that the seams were fairly basic. It's a big bag, it's a hobo, it's meant to take a lot of items in it. It's a functional, heavy-duty bag. But the seams were not reinforced. I felt they could have been stronger for the size of the bag, for the function of the bag. And then the attachment of the strap was just on the top of the bag. I didn't think it was secure or robust enough. The strap is possibly 2 inches wide. They've sewn the strap onto the top of the bag and possibly glued elements. I felt it could have been a much stronger attachment. The next hobo I saw was from the Row. When I saw it, I liked it. It looked expensive, it looked the part. But it's a small hobo. It's the type of hobo that you carry as more of an occasion bag. It's going out. It's an occasion bag that you don't use a lot. It doesn't take a lot in the bag. The construction is fairly basic, the way the strap has been attached to the bag. The overall construction is fairly basic, but the look is expensive. I missed out on the leather, it had already sold out. But what really stole my heart with this particular bag is the inside, lined using the most exquisitely soft calfskin. I really like that, and for the price tag, £3,800, I thought, perfect. This is what I want. Beautiful leather lining on the inside that's light, that doesn't add weight to the bag. It looks expensive, it looks the part, but it's a basic construction, and therefore I wouldn't consider it more as just occasion bag. The next bag is from Balenciaga. I seriously considered it. I really liked the leather. I thought the leather was perfect, it was thick, it was sumptuous, it was plush, it was robust. I liked the hardware. I also liked the piping on the side. That to me was absolutely perfect. But what I struggled with and meant it was a hard no was this attachment of the strap to the body of the bag. I didn't like the detail on top that was covering whatever was sewn on the underside. What are they hiding? But I also didn't like the fact that they added 2 stitches to the inside of the bag, so that severely limits the opening capacity of the bag, which meant a hard no. The leather, the piping I liked, but the stitching just meant there's restriction, a severe restriction to the opening of the bag. The next tote is from Givenchy, and it's called the Belted Hobo, I think. I liked it. I liked the leather. It was incredibly thick. It was robust. It was vegetal tanned. It's going to patina with time. And I liked the fact that they used a fairly wide piece of material that hadn't been cut or split. And the pressure is spread across a very big surface area of leather. And it's leather that's thick, it's robust, it's going to stand the test of time. It's a tote, I would say, is heirloom quality. And then the final tote is from Saint Laurent. It's the tote I looked at and thought, this is the worst, this is the biggest waste of money. It was a very basic construction. The leather was just the worst. It was thin leather that couldn't take the weight. I carried the tote, and the weight came from the solid weighted YSL hardware that they use to keep the flap over down. The weight from the hardware, I could feel that if you added more weight to the tote, you would have pressure points building up on the side of the bag. And if you use the bag consistently for an extended period of time, for a number of years, day in, day out, with time and very quickly, it would start to crease, and then the leather would actually tear where the pressure points were. And I thought, this is the biggest waste of money. It's about £2,350. You are paying for the brand, the Saint Laurent, but you're not paying for craftsmanship, and you're not paying for good quality leather. They have not considered the right thickness, the right type of leather for the tote. So that's the Madeleine Hobo Bag from Le Tanneur, an incredibly mighty hobo bag. The quality of the leathers, the craftsmanship, absolutely outstanding. It's a hobo bag that'll stand the test of time, and it'll last a lifetime. It's an absolutely superb hobo bag. I cannot recommend highly enough. Any thoughts, any questions, as always, let me know in the comment section down below.